Good afternoon from Lethbridge, Canada. Rocky Mountains in the distance. The High Trestle Bridge, the famous bridge over the Oldham River here in Lethbridge, southern Alberta in Canada. Spring is coming, and the world has come to Lethbridge this week. To the NMAX Center, the venue for the Pioneer Hi-Bred World Men's Curling Championship. Have a look now inside the NMAX Center. And our feature match for you this afternoon in session number 7, it is the home team Canada taking on Norway. Let's meet the teams. For Team Canada, at lead is Ben Hebert. Colton Flash is at second stone. PJ Neufeld is at third. And the skip is Kevin Cooey. In their opposition this afternoon, this young team from Norway. At lead, Andreas Hofstad. Jürgen Miran is at second. Michael Melmstetter is at third. And the skip is Magnus Ramsfjell. Here are the standings as we settle into the competition. Canada coming into this game unbeaten at 4-0, right alongside Japan and Sweden also at 4-0. Switzerland also unbeaten, followed by the USA, Netherlands, Italy, Scotland, Germany, Russia, China, Norway, and Korea. We will keep tabs on all of the action this afternoon in session number 7. On sheet A, Netherlands taking on Switzerland. On sheet B, it's Italy versus China. Our feature game is on sheet C, that's Canada versus Norway, and on sheet D, the USA takes on Scotland. Good crowd here on the afternoon session here on a Monday in Lethbridge. I'm Hans Frauenlaub. I'm joined by Sander Rolvag, and good afternoon to you, Sander.
Good afternoon, Hans. Always a pleasure.
This one, it's going to be an interesting contest. Canada the heavy favorites. We can see the last stone draw. Canada playing the red stones. They'll have last rock advantage. Norway will play the yellow stones. But this young Norwegian team making their debut at this level on the world stage, how do you think they'll be approaching today's game?
I think quite the same as usual, maybe trying to be a little bit more careful. They've given up some big ends so far. They're learning very quickly. You know, they played the World Junior Championships, and just talking to their coach saying it's a bit of a different level. You get penalized a lot quicker at this level here in the men's. But you know, if you look at the standings, yes, they're 0-3, but they've also played the 3 teams that are undefeated. They've played Switzerland, Japan, and Sweden, and now they get to play Canada. So, first game are undefeated teams.
Welcome to the tournament.
Exactly. So they know that they're having a tough start to the week, so they know that. So they're not stressing out too hard yet. They know easier games will come, and I'm sure they'll just try and enjoy this game against Canada. Obviously, Canada will big favorites here, but lots of crowd in. I think the Norwegians will have a good time.
Oh, no doubt about that. And this Canadian team, by contrast, as you mentioned, unbeaten. Rules of play for today, we're playing a 10-end game, but 6 ends at a minimum. Each team has 38 minutes of thinking time. Each team has 1 60-second timeout. But Kevin Cooey, 2-time world champion, playing at home for the first time in a world championship. And they're sitting at 4-0, but they were pressed a little bit yesterday, but showed some real grit in finishing teams off.
Yeah, and they have the crowd to back them up as well. That always helps.
Day 3 of the tournament. It's a full 12-game round robin. 13 member associations are here competing this week. So we're about 1/3 of the way through the round robin phase. Top 6 will make the playoffs. We'll explain the playoff system to you through the show. Might even learn a little Norwegian this afternoon, folks. So pay attention. So pre-game festivities are complete. Time to get this one underway.
Go through all of it. You're ready to go. See John last time ready to go. Just gotta wait a couple more seconds. Okay, now.
Andreas Hofstad, 20 years of age. He's curled for half his life.
And Norway will be disappointed not to pick up the hammer. They had second practice, and Canada probably had one of their worst draw shot challenges of the week. But Norway had a worse one, so they have to start.
Canada's lead, Ben Hebert, enormously experienced lead player. Had so much international success. No surprise, Sander, Canada straight to the attack with a corner guard.
That's what you expect to see from them, I think. Especially playing at home, they're a little bit forced to entertain a little bit as well.
Very nice.
Norwegian skip, Magnus Ramsfjell. Horstad.
Bronze medalist at the Youth Olympics, playing the mixed doubles competition back in 2016, and Lillehammer.
Quite an experience for them, being the home team, so to speak. Guards the shot in the rings.
We can chase that later.
I'm not sure if it's curling less coming this way, or if it's just Horstad's throw.
I would agree.
Tiny corner available on the shot rock. Ben Hebert's going to make a play into that neighborhood.
Wait's close, Kev. Just line right now.
Wait's good. Yep. Line's good. Yep.
Back four.
Whoa.
Bumping.
Clean.
Wait's pretty good. Just bumping a little.
Clean it.
Little bump.
Whoa.
Hard.
Hard.
Very nice.
Gentle tap from Ben Hebert. Gets the stone into a good place for the Canadians. Jörgen Mieren, also 20 years of age. What an experience. This team defeated the Thomas Ulsrud and the Stefan Wallstedt force them to qualify to be here. So they've already knocked over a couple of really well-known teams just to represent Norway. Sander mentioned also played at the World Juniors, but what an experience to come here and face the best in the world. Mieren heavy with that draw.
And normally the winner of the Norwegian Championship doesn't necessarily just go to Worlds, but this season it was made that decision that whoever wins Nationals goes to Worlds this season. And they certainly grasped the opportunity.
So Kevin Cooey waving his brush across the back of the forefoot. That's the kind of weight he's looking for second stone Colton Flash. One of the two new players on Kevin Cooey's team this year. The other being PJ Neufeld. Going to be close to that guard. They just get it by. Well swept. Oh, that's a great stone. Bumps his own forward, gets a terrific angle on the Norwegian rock in the forefoot, and the Canadians are in business.
Girl in there. Huh?
Mieren.
Bare fart. Linja er bra. Mulig tight. Hold i gang i hvert fall. Litt tight. 4. Hold linja litt. Bare fart. 4. Bare fart. Litt tight. Jep. Jep. Hard. Kom igjen. Bra, Jørgen.
Freezes the top of the two Canadian stones in the rings. Would have liked maybe a bit more angle on that one. Sander weight was great, but
Still not bad. They might actually line up a double on the Reds with the run back.
that's true. That's true. Canada with the hammer here in one.
Yeah.
You can see Magnus in the back eyeing that up.
Yeah, it should curl here. Like a foot more, maybe?
Yeah.
We are wider.
I am.
Okay.
See the time clocks on the scoreboard. That's Great for the players, no excuse not being across how much thinking time you've got left. It's right beside you.
Cleats good.
Okay, let's get him hard. Hard, curl it hard. Hard, guys.
Trying to hold the line.
Whoa. Yep, just off. Whoa,
Just gonna feather the Norwegian stone and spring into the top 8.
Start curling a little early.
Not really what the Canadians were looking for as we look at the Norwegian coach's bench.
Best mustache in town.
That is a quality mustache.
Actually, the region he's from, they're quite known for mustaches.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Also the first 3 players on this team.
Michael Malmstetter.
And Andreas Horstad and Jørgen Myhren, all from Oppdal.
Yep.
It's a nice little town in the mountains. Known for skiing and also curling.
And mustaches and hair. And there's Stefan Wallstad.
Also from Oppdal. So
Thomas Loveld?
not from Oppdal.
Not from
He's
Oppdal.
from Lillehammer.
Okay.
Not trying to replace him, stepping in, trying to fill.
I agree. Switch.
Probably throw here.
Yeah, said the Scottish railway workers brought the sport to the town and it just kind of stuck.
Okay.
Just roll
The
a
Scots
bit.
have taken the sport to a lot of different places around the world.
You got to get to 3/4.
Okay.
At least.
Certainly brought it to Canada as well.
Yes, they did. BJ Neufeld.
Easy control.
Hard. Whoa. Oh!
He's had so much success over the years as a cash scale tournament player.
Hard. Stay with that one.
Makes the little angle bump. Removes the Norwegian stone. Canada lies 2.
Sit this whole side.
Angled pretty well for the Norwegians, though, on that inside double sander. If they could ever make that and stuff it, they'd be looking in pretty good shape as we look at the replay. Ben Hebert holding the line for that angle bump.
Alternate with Team USA last year in Las Vegas.
See the letters and the numbers on top of the stones. Each stone labeled so the players know which one is which. Huge weight. Not really laying a brush to this one yet. Looking for the inside flop. Well, pretty good. They pushed the Canadian stone into the open. Not the perfect double takeout, but that's a pretty good shot.
I guess you got to draw top 4. Yeah, come around that.
Red stones are Canadian. Malmstetter. Quality mustaches and quality hair, apparently, in Oppdal.
Maybe.
Wouldn't be bad.
Dripper og frystallet. Ja, veldig viktig. I should drag by that.
My first thought.
Yeah, or this. Real gas.
I don't like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Either whatever you like, Beach. I think this is probably better.
Seen a bit more ice than me.
Yeah, and then
What you got?
speed should be what, 14 seconds.
Kevin sounded a little reluctant making this call, but they have thrown quite a few stones down this path, albeit with bump weight.
You got room.
Wait only. Wait only, guys. Pennies. You can.
Yeah, you gotta go.
Hard, you gotta go. You gotta go. You gotta go. Go. Hard, tug a piece. Go.
Good spot, Beach. Come on.
Doesn't bury, but it does sit in front of the forefoot, and that's a very awkward angle. No thin double here for the Norwegians. Super awkward angle. Good weight from Neufeld. Didn't quite tuck around the Norwegian stones, so it is available to play.
Yeah, this is
About 2/3 of it available.
a little dicey if he just rolls a little bit.
Yeah. The good thing is he's not going to get, like, that's going to help us from having to draw against the bond.
Magnus
that's why I didn't
Ramsfeld
really like that other.
started curling at the age of 5, which isn't particularly surprising when your father is a world champion curler.
3-time world champion even.
Hard. Hard. Whoa. Yep.
Didn't only skip the Norwegian team at the juniors this season, but also the Winter University Games following. So he's been playing a lot of curling this season and actually won the University Games. Picked up gold with a different team. Was skip. This one over curling, and we've seen that sometimes on his intern, his clockwise rotation, just a little bit soft at times in over curling.
Probably pretty good.
So the good news for Ramsfell, lots of his own stones to maybe jump off and use, but the bad news is the Canadians have got the hammer and they're lying 2.
Makes that double.
Yeah, that's right there.
Three-time champion.
I think you just get one in here, don't
Sander
you?
was referring to, of course, Eigil Ramsfell.
Yeah, I just don't want to line up a triple, that's all. But I mean, I guess
Well,
it's going on.
it's going right there, though, right?
Okay, I like it.
I just think you get one. You miss that. It's what's best. Probably just. Okay.
That's a deuce.
Talking about freezing their stone in the top 4-foot, Sander.
Yeah,
Aggressive call.
Well, there's not a lot of room to really get in because all those yellows in the 8-foot.
Right.
You're kind of forced to group your stones somehow. And the thought here, if you freeze the top one, Norway can only get rid of one red.
Well, I think you got a bit of room.
Should be scoring your 2, maybe your even your 3.
Right.
Nose is real good too, but hair either side.
Try and freeze kick.
Compared to my draw flash, same.
I guess the downside risk here for the Canadians is if Kui is slightly heavy and maybe sets up a double or a triple for Ramsfell.
That is the risk, but
Canadians going for the maximum as they usually do with the hammer.
try and freeze it on the nose, maybe even a little bit across the nose.
Line's good, guys.
It's going to angle in it in a way that's always jamming on the side yellow.
Really gotta go.
Line's good.
Come on.
Got to go for weight.
Look close.
Gotta go.
Okay, go then.
Let's get right before.
Hard line. Hard line, guys. Hard flash.
Right up.
Go, 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 go.
Okay,
Good sweep, guys.
Not bad.
Just a hair light, about a foot light.
Almost.
That's pretty good.
Norway's counting 3rd and 4th shot now. Canada counting 1 and 2.
Det hadde vært den, da. Som han spiller ruller litt utover. Føler det er litt unødvendig.
Safe play would probably be to hit the Canadian stone in the back button.
Altså, hvis
Talked
den
about
køler og
jumping
stusser
off his
den, så må
own
vi
as
prøve å
well.
ikke få den i luka her, da. Men vi må nesten bare prøve å ta den tjukt i så fall, for den blir aldri sittende i den røde.
We have a rare luxury on our broadcast, which is a native Norwegian speaker to tell us what's
Slå og
the
rulle
discussion.
kant 17.
So Sander, what are the options here?
It is the hit and roll off the shot stone on the tee line. Might look a bit confusing that Miran's brush is where it's at, but it's just so it's easier for Ramsfell to see it.
Second and third.
Bra fart! Bra fart!
Ren.
Yep, yep, yep! Whoa, yep,
Ren.
yep! Whoa,
Ren.
yep!
Well, they're on and they're off.
Yep, yep, hard! Yep, hard! Hard!
Oh, they missed the sweep read and it's going to over curl. So the Canadians will have a shot. Well,
Take a little more ice.
sketchy skin double for 3, but absolutely a shot for 2.
Herregud, for en finish der, ja.
They were on it, they were off it, and in the end, it just over curled. Guess they were nervous about flicking the outside one, Sander.
Got a little surprised they got so much finish on the end.
Så nære at vi misser med så mye, liksom.
Yeah, I mean, you can kind of go into that too.
I don't like this underneath, huh? Neither do I.
Kui needs a piece of the 4-foot.
EJ likes to draw.
I think I like the speed better on the bump path. We know the speed bump path, that's all. It's the only reason I'd say that.
I mean, this is there too.
No, I don't like that.
You got some room for air high side with this. Throw like
bit of discussion on it.
Just bump this
Pretty
up.
straightforward
That's
play.
what I like.
So there was discussion about the draw, but the front end player saying, well, we know the bump path a little bit better. So Kevin Cooey listening to his sweepers and
You just
saying,
can't
all
hit
right.
this, pound this high.
Yeah.
Well, on the nose, as long as you're not super heavy, you're fine.
Okay.
Kevin Cooey cautioning his sweepers. All right, now we're
Okay.
going to play your shot,
Back
but then
four, back eight.
do not jump it out of hand, because if you do, track straight, catch the top one on an angle, maybe we don't get our 2. Here is Kevin Cooey.
That's good. Just enough.
More than
Weight's
room,
good.
room.
Weight's perfect.
Clean. How's the weight?
Weight's good. Little heavy, if anything.
Hard flash. Hard flash.
No.
Neufeld trying an audible. The line's not there, but they might get away with it.
Good.
Just. Good read there from VJ Neufeld.
2 red.
Canadians get their bump. Not exactly the direction they were hoping for, but they got their pair regardless after one end of play. It's Canada 2 and Norway no score.
Hard line, Chris. Hard. Hard, dig. Really gotta go. You got a chance. Guard. Go. Get water. Out of control. Get water.
We're live in Lethbridge, Alberta at the Pioneer Hi-Bred World Men's Curling Championship. Our feature game this afternoon, Canada-Norway. Canada with the hammer in the first end, throwing a deuce on the board. Norway will have last rock advantage here in the second. Center guard. Oh, cautious play here by Ramsfeld. Bit of intimidation, perhaps, Sander, drawing the wing.
Well, I think what they've been discussing is just keeping it a little more simple.
A little unsteady out of the hack from Hostad. Yeah, this is bringing it into the rings is definitely a way to keep the clutter down. It's a legitimate tactic, there's no doubt about that.
They've been a little bit slow starters, so I wonder if it's just getting a little bit extra comfortable with the ice and make some shots, get settled, giving up big ends early. So
winds up in a corner guard position anyways.
only 2 5s have been scored so far in the championship, and they're both given up by Norway. So
right. That will encourage you to keep play a little bit simple.
Also giving up a 4. Yep. They're all over that big end
big
sheet.
ends chart. A little feather on the front one by Ben Ebert. 2 center guards up. Canada will be really happy with the clutter.
I think one of the reasons is they play an aggressive game. Of course, his father, Eigil, was a pretty aggressive player in his time. And when you play at World Juniors, you might get away with that a little easier. You know, you get a half shot and you save yourself, but you can be very easily penalized for mistakes. Playing teams like Switzerland, Japan, Canada,
Indeed.
Sweden.
Absolutely. At this level, it's not even taking advantage of a half shot. It's more like taking advantage of a quarter shot miss.
And doesn't end up on the wing with the first one, and the second one ends up as a guard as well. So 4 guards to begin with. It might not be as simple of an end as they were hoping for.
The simple game plan strategy pretty much out the window now for Team Norway.
Light.
Oh, wait only.
No, I don't think we can. Okay, go then. It's not light to me.
Light's good.
Mine's great. Top
Gotta
12,
go
maybe.
hard. You gotta go hard. It looks way light.
It's all over the guard.
Whoa, but
Well, this one
Jesus.
was a mistake from Colton Flash.
5 guards.
okay.
Yeah. Well, there was some discussion before the game about whether they should play the 9 rock free guard zone this afternoon.
Oh,
Being
yeah?
April 1st and all.
Okay.
No, of course not. We're playing the 5 rock free guard zone. It is April Fool's Day. This one's looking like a 9 rock free guard zone rule end though.
Anyone trick you this morning?
Well, I kind of tried to take shelter there. We have a lot of pranksters on the crew. So, tons of stones in front. Anybody gonna find the rings? Good looking line here for Norway. Nice shot there by Jürgen Mieren. Top button.
That was 14 too. Yeah.
Sliding along with Colton Flash.
What do you mean?
Just line right now, Kev. Line's good.
Line's good.
Yep.
T-line. T-line.
Oh.
T-line. Small bump. Small bump. Yep.
No, if you're heavy.
Bump it.
Yeah, just let it get way in there. Let it get lost in there.
Good shot.
Better.
Shot, Colton.
Norway still shot, but Canada closing off the scoring area. Nice stone there from Colton Flash.
Shot, Colton.
Norway electing to clear the front. Mieren.
Allez.
Oh, there you go. Clear 2, pick off the Canadian stone. That'll do. Nice shot.
Gets a quiet applause from the Canadians here.
Yeah, the Canadians certainly supporting their home team, but they'll grudgingly acknowledge a high quality shot like that. BJ Neufeld.
Hard.
Control. Hard.
Whoa. Hard. Whoa. Yep. Yep. Whoa. Whoa.
Roll it a bit. Roll it a bit. Roll it a bit. Good job, Beach.
It's on the edge of the button. Got a little inside roll, but still available for Emsville.
Curley, ganske godt over linja her.
Monday afternoon in Lethbridge. Nice crowd here. Good Melton setter.
En ned. For. Nei, ikke min. Nei, bra bort. Myk vant.
Lots of discussion about Michael's hair this week.
Andreas, ja. Andreas. Andreas.
Got an over-under going on when the hair tie comes in. Doesn't get across the Canadian stone, pushes it into the back 12 foot, but sits in the open.
Okay.
Stone needed to curl another half a rock. There's Michael.
You have the same over-under for BJ as well?
Yep. BJ has been wanting to use the hair tie for quite some time.
Little big. Whoa.
Yep.
Little big.
Whoa, guys.
Whoa, no.
Whoa, hard. Whoa, whoa. Just
Wait.
wait for me to say something on that.
For BJ, Kevin Cooey. Wait for it, wait for it.
That front end can get a little bit eager.
Yeah. Does it need to be swept? Does it need to be swept? I'm sweeping it anyways.
You want to wait for the skip to make the call.
Yep.
Mellum set that.
Hard. Whoa. Whoa. Down. Whoa. Down. Yep. Hard. Yeah. Come in.
Just misses getting the action, but does get the roll behind the corner guards. Canada line 2. Norway with the hammer.
Put double and roll in line 3.
Yeah. You could do this
Or this.
which I don't hate.
Gotta roll it in.
You like that? I think I like that better than a guard right now. It's a little bit, guarding right here is a little bit tricky. So even if he knows this,
Yeah, you
it's
got
not the end of the world.
just firm.
Yeah, and you can make it off of this. Like,
No. I'm trying.
no, I know, but I'm just saying, firm.
Yeah, in turn.
Once Kevin makes a choice, he likes to lock it in his brain. Sometimes BJ will offer a B or a C option, but once Kevin's locked in, he just doesn't really want to hear anything else. So, nope, this is what we're making.
My favorite moment was against Russia. We just left a pretty flat double. BJ said, it's not there.
Kevin looked for an extra second. We could read his mind. I think it's there.
And made it, of course.
Made it.
Yep. Whoa, no. Whoa. Yep. Yes. Whoa.
Well, there's the hit. There's the roll.
Kill me.
Cooey will be disappointed that he
Landing,
didn't completely cover the stone in the 4 foot with the roll. That's a terrific shot.
The yellow one's probably on the rings.
The yellow one, you think so?
I think so.
That's pretty close. Kevin's having a look.
Too red.
Right eye dominant. Well, if that one is on the rings, then do you think triple takeout, go across the top and maybe try to hang on, or just go straight back?
Make the double at least. Might have to make another double on your next one.
Exactly.
But would help.
I don't know about that yellow one, Sander. Might have to have a side bet.
Well, I got a pair of younger eyes, remember?
Well, it's good enough, true. But I do have experience on my side. Magnus Ramsfeld.
Might be some Norwegian bias coming in, seeping in.
Whoa.
Wants to eliminate at least a couple of Canadian stones. Oh, just squirts by it. Does sit in front of the Canadian stone, and they are second shot.
They've lost quite a few on the very end on the takeouts. Just seems to finish a bit more than they're expecting.
Yeah.
So Cooey will remove it. Just a question about where. Neufeld just waiting for the skipper to make the call.
Yeah. That's what I like. You like a normal.
Good control.
Good control. Okay, I like that.
See, the body language a little different that time from BJ. He said, all right, I know what the shot's going to be, but I'll just wait for Kevin to tell me.
Get a walls, try to slow
Control?
down. Look how far it goes.
This is like good control.
Okay. Yep. I like it.
Yeah, you don't need to get too cute with this one. Down the weight, over curls, you jam, and you feel a bit silly. You just pick it out, and you're going to get a force. You do have to think about that stone maybe biting the rings, so you do want to stick around.
Control.
Yep. Whoa.
Yep. Hard. Hard. Whoa. Yes. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh, boy. Gets by the one in the forefoot, tickles the one in the back 12, but still leaves it in the rings.
Have a shot for two ever.
That's perfect.
Wow.
Never in doubt.
I knew a jam. I didn't think it would get into the house.
So close.
Nice throw.
Hitting on the forefoot, clips it,
A little bit of movement.
pushes it behind the guards. Oh boy!
Like even Ben's draw is moving better than. I mean, that's the only one I saw was his head.
Kui Neufeld always talking about what they saw on every single shot. Magnus Ramsfeld, now last stone of the second end, has to draw against 3. He needs full forefoot to score.
Linja er bra. Kjør litt tidlig. Grei ut. Linja er bra. Vende. Linja er bra. Papp. Kjør det mye. Pass på. Kjør det mye. Jepp.
Oh, very nicely done by the Norwegian skip. Drills it right on the lid, the Pioneer logo. Single point for Norway. Norway is on the board after 2 ends of play. It is Canada 2, Norway 1. Underway in the third end here at the NMAX Center. Lethbridge, Alberta, southern Alberta. We're about 120 kilometers from the U.S. border. About a 2-hour drive south of Calgary. Pioneer Hi-Bred World Men's Curling Championship. Hans Raumab here with Sander Rolvag. Textbook start for the Canadians. Get the hammer, score a 2, force Norway to 1. Canada looking like they're
Line's really good. Line's really good.
finding what's for them is going to be close to top gear early in the week.
It's a long week, though.
It is.
Keep that up for our 12 games and then playoffs. Is it ever possible to run out of steam?
Well, it's a very good point, Sander. It is the longest single round robin now in curling tournaments, with the 13th member association being added to the World Championships last year. So yeah, a 12-game round robin and 6 teams making the playoffs. I think you're right. It is possible to peak too soon. On the other hand, you go into every game, you know, staying in the present, saying we want to win this game, and you win every game,
I don't think you're going to give up a few games early in the week on purpose.
Just to peak at the right time.
Yeah.
Nice little touch shot there from Norway. Updating all the games on sheet A, Netherlands and Switzerland are tied at 2. On sheet B, Italy and China tied at 1. Canada leading our game 2-1, and USA and Scotland on sheet D. They're also tied up at 2.
Easy.
Little heavy.
Clean, 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 clean.
Off. Try to get the nose.
Speed roll.
Oh.
Good.
I'm going to measure that.
Yeah, sure.
Kevin really wants that as a free guard.
You want to measure it?
I do if you're going to hit it.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, they're going to call for a technical timeout and ask, this is the one situation where you can have a stone measured before the end of an end. And explain this to a center.
Stop this clock.
Yeah, I don't get it.
The most outer part of the rock that needs to
Tom.
be touching the most outer part of the
clock is
house to be
running
in. It
here,
looks
right?
in to me.
Yeah, no, it should be.
10 seconds. Thanks, Kevin.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, it's got. It looks like to me it's got almost.
Is it the red line or is it the blue?
And the man bun is on.
All right,
in, but
third
that's
end.
what I wanna see.
That's probably the earliest yet for Michael Mellemzitter.
There we go.
I gotta ask him about that if it's a superstitious kind of thing. 6-foot measure coming out.
Okay.
The overhead shot looks like it's off, but the overhead isn't exactly over the edge of the 12-foot, so they'll ask the official to come on and double check with the biter measure.
182.7, is it? 6 foot?
Looks like there's some contact there.
Thank you. I think we had 30, 55.
Yeah.
I think I remember. I think we lost 13 seconds there. 13 seconds. 20? Okay, thanks.
Okay, they're going to make an adjustment on their time clock as
Mine,
well.
Matt.
Time clock was running while they were
Mika.
agreeing for
Benton.
the technical measure, so the officials will put 20 extra seconds back onto Norway's time clock.
I remember had a buddy called for a measure once, and it was in the house. Changed his mind. Didn't play the hit.
I'll just guard it
Just
after
wasted
all.
everyone's time.
Whoa, man. Go, man.
It's all an
Oh.
elaborate. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. That stone comes off, and we suspect is the light flashing
I
red.
thought for nothing.
That measure all for nothing, says Magnus.
Measure the stone, we'll hit it, and then we get a hogline violation, and the stone comes off.
This top 8 weight, I guess.
Draw, yep.
Automatic detector at the near hog line. It can sense if the hand is still in contact as the stone reaches that hog line. If the lights flash red, the stone comes off.
Okay, line's good.
Top 8.
Hard
That's what
that.
we want.
Okay.
Line's fine.
Oh, it's there right now.
Mine's good.
Top 8 though, I think
Mine's
still.
great. Top 4.
Whoa, then.
Top 8.
Coming down.
Top 8.
No. Just BJ's. Just bite the line. Yeah, I know. You want to be dead last.
Good shot, Bosch.
We've had quite an adventure this end so far, Sander. We've had a biter measure, we've had a hog line violation, we've had a hair tie.
14 blank på den.
Now where does it roll to? How far?
We're only halfway through the end. Jürgen Muren gonna let go in time this time.
Bare fart.
Light flashes green.
Det er bra.
Litt opp, kanskje. 7.
Og
8. 9. 8, 9. 8.
Nei, ikke rundt.
7, 8. 7, 8. Snakker
Stoppe mye ren. Andreas,
seks.
vis noe. Andreas, vis noe.
Snakker vi.
Ja, kom igjen. Hard! Hard. Så langt det går nå. Så langt det går nå. Litt til. Viktig. Bra der. Fikk samme
Front of the Canadian stone in second shot position behind the guard.
Just kind of died on them a little bit. Thought it was heavier.
I was doing the evening draw last night, Sander, and it did seem like there was a wee bit of frost creeping in. There's a big crowd in here this afternoon, so we'll keep an eye on the ice conditions.
Especially if there is just a tiny bit of frost and you stay right off the rock. It does sometimes tend to pull up. So just gotta keep your eyes on it, or keep the brooms down. Just lightly keep it alive.
Like the weight.
Hey, I'd like to cross this here if I can.
Line 12.
I don't think it's
Top
heavy.
beat.
Yep.
Wyoming.
Whoa, whoa.
Fall down. Yep. Hard bend.
Hard. Hard.
Look at that one dive. Flicks the front.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Good spot, Flash.
Good toss, Flash.
I think they got caught a bit there too.
Yes, they did. They thought they were well clear, and all of a sudden, oops.
Good throw, Flash.
Sits in a good spot for the Canadians.
Mulig hit, så har vi den siden her også.
Blocking the pass to the shot rock.
Vent den. Kjapp er greit. Yep. Litt ned. Yep. 15 fam.
Mellomsetter.
15 fam.
Hairband now in place.
Hard får det bli. Hard. Kom igjen. Kom igjen. Kom igjen, du har den. Litt til.
Catches it thin.
Ganske hard, ja.
Just pushes the Canadian stone out of the rings, but he spills himself.
10-2, så 14-5. Minst. Ikke hardere.
What's he got of this?
Nice conditions, fooling both teams a little bit here, Sander.
Quarter, maybe. Thin quarter.
Canadians got caught on one over curling, and Mellomsetters did the same.
Well, it's not going to be quick here.
No, it's not. Probably the same.
Seconds.
Yeah,
Yeah,
14.
even 13-8.
Yeah, we need a hair more than you throw in that one end turn.
Yeah.
Room. Line's good. Just for weight.
T-line.
Oh, we're heavy. Back four. Oh, it won't be back four. It's coming down.
Line's good.
Top, go.
Saw Colton Flash's draw really zip across. This one now is also finishing well.
Good shot, Beach.
Nice weight control there from BJ Neufeld. Canada lies 2.
I got 80.
Helst ikke en Holstein foran denne. Kommer veldig mye ned på hogg der, så pass på.
Just letting his front end know that seems to come down a bit after the hog line.
Litt
Seeing
tight.
that on a couple of stones. Mellomsetter.
Fire. Hard. Linja bra. Fram. Yep, hold linja. Yep. Fire.
This one's going to flirt with the front guard.
Litt til.
Just passed it, well swept, but it's going to come to rest,
Okay,
just
very
biting the
good.
front 8-foot. So now the Canadians are going to switch gears, come around the intern side for the right-handers, and if they can wedge one into the button area, Sander, Norway's in a world of trouble. Look at how those guards are staggered.
Really important to be top of the tee line for BJ. If you ever slip a bit deep here, you'll have a freeze for Norway.
We're good.
Puppy! Hard line. Hard, guys. Got to go line.
Flash and Hebert really getting a workout this
Hard,
afternoon.
Flash. Come on. Hard. Got to get this line. Hard. Whoa. Yep. Keep going. Yep.
Oh, well swept by Flash and Hebert. Look at that.
Wow. So that was going to be all over the yellow.
Colton Flash, Ben Hebert doing a fantastic job to just squeak this one by the Norwegian stone in the front 8-foot. Maximum effort from the sweepers here. And Kui actually called him off as he knew he was clear of that yellow one. Perfect. Couldn't have carried that one down any better. And we see Jeff Stoughton in the background. He's probably texting his fans saying, just like I told him.
Move early, yeah.
I think everything is
But like I thought we were in trouble there.
Canada lies 3. They're playing the Red Stones. They've got the hammer here in the third. We've talked about Norway dropping big ends, and they're staring down the barrel of another one right here.
Ja. Det ikke noe sten som gjør at du får en bær sten på siste stenen.
Av begge gardene, men det hjelper ikke noe det heller. Våre er skikkelig dårlig vinkel her.
Frysen da.
Da gir vi 3, liksom.
Problem for this young Norwegian team, there are no attractive options here.
Get their 1. 3-2. Scotland lead over the U.S. after 3.
Yellow, yellow nose run, maybe. Blast it into the pile, try to get rid of a couple. Maybe leave yourself sitting in the front 8. But these are all low percentage options for Norway.
Det jævlig vanskelig å få dyttet den langt nok, ass.
Try to draw and freeze. You bring 4 or 5 into the picture.
Altså det hadde jo vært bra, så klart.
Run the red back.
Bedrar.
That's bad angles.
Her, tenker jeg. Sett den godt der.
Is the 5 looming?
The 5 is looming, there is no doubt. Canada lying 3.
Det liksom en run her som bra, men det så lite treff.
Boy, after the discussion, they do look like they're going to play some type of a freeze on the front stone and the front 4-foot sander. And boy, high risk. You're a fraction heavy, you bump the red, sit in the open, and you do bring 5 into the picture.
Wait, whoa, whoa. Whoa, that's here. Now, well. Forward, forward, go, 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 go.
Staying right off of this one. Will this one come down as well?
Yeah, 1 yellow.
Yeah.
1 yellow.
Kom igjen.
Well, there's that tiny bump that I was worried about.
No, boy, just a foot heavy.
Yeah. Now the Canadians have a play on that stone. They can play back line weight. See the Harstad Melmsetter trying to get this into a frozen position, but just that little bump right there. Now Kui can get to the inside of that Norwegian stone. Feather his own on the way by, half flop into the inside, lying 4 covered.
Yeah, it's the 5. You can have a replay if you think it's a hog line, but I felt like I was way before the hog anyways. Yeah, thanks. Just in case anyone's wondering. Thanks.
All right,
no, I don't think it's the battery. They're just cleaning the stone way before I get down there. So it turned off before I kicked out. Yeah, I usually do, but I forgot now. So. Okay. It was blinking just before I kicked out, so I figured it was fine. But.
Discussion with the official just about the automatic hogline detector there. But I'm still explaining.
Real hard. Whoa, whoa.
Back to the action, Kevin Kui here with a great chance to set up a huge end. Got to get by that top stone. Great shot by Kui.
So good with these.
Sweet, Ben.
Perfect.
It's kind of like this when you think you're good, keep sweeping it.
BJ Newfield.
That's a good comment, actually. That's when Norway's been missing out a lot. They think they're good, get off the sweeping, and they get that late finish they don't expect.
Right.
You just keep the brooms down, because they'll still curl. There is just nowhere to go for Norway. They're going to have to try and throw a bomb. And will they get rid of much more than 1 red? I'm not sure.
I don't think so. I think the best he can do is eliminate 1 Canadian stone here.
Well, you don't want to give up another 5.
No.
Oh, uh-oh, this does not look good for Norway.
Dear, oh dear. Rumsfeld up.
The whole way to the freeze. Okay. He was top butt. So let's make this 6 to 8 feet. Okay, weight's good. Real good.
Line's really good.
good though. Never heavy.
Line's good, guys.
It's good.
Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. Nice shot, Kev. Good sweep, guys.
Look, Kev.
5.
Even that was just not even T-line, eh?
No, that's top 4 end to end. Just so you know, I got a 90.
Which was...
You were throwing 405s yesterday.
It's a huge deficit for this Norwegian team to try and make up against a team of this caliber. As the old cliche says, journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. Norway gonna try and get a couple on the board here.
83%. back one, push it out. 4 foot, 8 foot, pretty much wide open
Colton Flash.
for now. Well, early on session 7, here's the score.
He's going to be throwing at the Norwegian stone in the rings. Hebert and Neufeld working it.
7-1 running away against Norway.
They squeak the corner guard. Oh, well, they actually wind up pulling the rock. They must have touched the stone as they were sweeping Sander.
Yeah, it doesn't happen very often. But sportsmen like to just pull the rock.
Yeah, one of the, well, semi-written rules of curling is the so-called spirit of curling. It's the ethos that the players take onto the ice. You would rather call a foul on yourself than to win unfairly. And the Canadians showing the spirit of curling on that one, pulling their own stone. Kind of easy to be generous in spirit when you're up 6, however. But they did the right thing, absolutely.
Can't lose the shooter here, Norway. Really needs to keep everything in play.
Anytime you're still throwing against multiple.
Colton Flash. No. Safely past the guard. No touches of the brush this time. Removes the Norwegian rock. Canada lies 2. Norway going to look to go around the corner guard. I think that's the smart play in this situation. Ignore the Canadian rocks.
Bit tight, yep.
Munin does get quite close to the hog line on his release.
Shot, but they're in a real good spot. Really
En, hvert fall. Yep.
Sakte.
Nivå.
4-5.
Ren.
4-5.
Bare ren.
5-6.
Bare ren.
5-6.
Ren.
Hold en gang.
Linja er bra, bare fart. Bare hit. Bare hit. Ærlig. Okay.
Clean.
Yeah, hard.
Yeah, Ben.
Hard.
Go, Ben.
Neufeld clears.
En gang til.
Ja.
2.
Midlam Septa. Now, Sander, I have a theory. After 2 ends of play, Norway was kind of hanging in there.
Tight.
Got their 1.
Helst hold den I gang.
Michael puts the hairband on.
Hold den I gang.
Norway drops a 5.
Linja er bra. Linja er bra.
Is there a correlation?
Could be.
Ser lang ut herfra.
Maybe just take that thing and burn it in the
Jeg kan slippe. Wow, wow.
with a Bunsen burner.
Yep, so Norwegian curling fans, if you do think there's a correlation, you can send your petitions in now. Burn the hairband. Save the 5s. BJ Neufeld. Chance to make the double takeout here. Kill the corner, kill the stone in the rings. Well, doesn't get the stone in the rings, but he does kill the corner.
Might see Norway freeze the pocket. But I'm actually looking for the hit and roll.
Margin ruller du på den sånn. Vent den. En. Litt på.
Fin fart.
Ja, sånn. Ja.
14 fa. Litt opp. Wow. Wow.
En. Her er 14. Her er 14. Bra, Mikael.
Removes 1 Canadian stone. Well, pretty good. He'll be sitting in the open for the Canadians to make a play.
Might give you some options on your last. Yeah, no, this is bad. Oh, yes, go that way.
Normal.
Control.
Normal.
Interesting test of a different kind for the Canadians here, Sander. Absolutely in lock solid control of this game, and
It's good.
be a natural tendency just to kind of distract yourself and just mail the rest of the game in, but see if the Canadians can keep their focus here.
Yeah, you don't want to give up an easy 2 or 3. Let them back in the game. And have a 6-point lead. Be quite happy to try and close it out as early as possible. It's a long week. Try and kill the game early. Maybe get some rest.
This is the only game of the day for the Canadians, so you're right, it would be a good chance for them to have a brief visit to the NMAX Center and rest up. Norway, though, will be doing whatever they can to get back in the game here. Pretty straightforward double takeout. Canadian stones almost lined up, natural to make the double, just off nose.
Drop out. Yep. Drop out. Hard. Hard. Kom igjen litt der. Hard. Litt der. Whoa.
Now this one just over curls.
Yeah.
Doesn't make the double. Sits in front of the Canadian rock.
He's probably going to have something no matter what you do.
Yeah, I know.
Try and roll it a bit.
Unless he wanted to take this on.
No. No. I mean, I could do. I think it's just this.
Yeah.
And then when well, I guess he can throw weight and make.
He'll probably just play the double.
Careful.
But I think that's the hardest one.
T. Okay.
Really careful, fellas.
T. Okay. All you
Your
guys.
judge, careful.
Just discussing where they want this roll to go.
14-3 should be good. Yeah, we got it. Just keep it clean.
They want to be lying second shot. They're going to have to roll inside, but they don't want to set up an easy double for Ramsfeld.
Saw you warming up this room.
3-3. Where do we stand? Shot for shot. USA and Scotland.
Yeah, I mean, you could.
The more you roll, it's better. Longer double.
Still,
Yeah.
okay,
I
just.
don't know.
I think just this.
Yeah, let's make it. Yeah, if you roll 3 inches, it's perfect. Long as double.
Kevin Cooey.
Just normal.
Whoa.
Clean.
Whoa.
Looks like a whoa to me.
Whoa. Close.
Get.
Hard. Hard.
They want an inside roll, but not too much.
Now you gotta go.
Now they're going to try and squirt it behind the front Norwegian stone.
Not bad.
It's a teaser for Norway. The shot for 2 is there, but to make it, Ramsfeld's going to have to flirt with the front stone. Could also run the front stone back, but it's bad angles.
Totally different. You're at the spot and you have to sweep
Just
knowing it's gonna.
half a rock available
Yeah.
to
It's
get
way more
the deuce.
Yeah.
Magnus is going to have to hit everything he can see, Sander.
Yeah, because that first rock he's going to make contact with. Obviously, you're going to catch the second red, lose a lot of momentum for that to spin out the back. Catch it too thin, it's just not going anywhere.
So the roll worked out actually really well for Cooey. Shot for 2 here for Ramsfeld, but a really difficult one. Final stone of the 4th end.
Something. Yeah. Something. Yep. Something. Whoa. 14-5.
Is it going to curl enough? No, catches it thin, and it will be a steal of a single point to the Canadians. Canada rolls along, adding to their total. Steal of 1. After 4 ends of play, Canada leads at 8-1. third end of play. Kevin Cooey of Canada already lying 4 after a great hit inside roll. Had this draw to the full 8 foot to create a score of 5. Norway has already dropped 2 5-point ends in the tournament. Flash and Hi-Bred on the brushes.
Keep it going. Nice shot, Kev.
No mistake there from Cooey, and it is a third 5-point end conceded by the Norwegians. Huge end for the Canadians and full value for that 5. They made some great shots to set it up.
Just so you know, I got a 9.
Love to be able to add another medal onto his family collection.
Four games of action here at the NMAX Center. Ben Hi-Bred of Canada gets it underway in our feature game. We're live in Lethbridge. The Pioneer Hi-Bred World Men's Curling Championship. Home team Canada coming into this game unbeaten at 4-0, and they are looking very likely to maintain that unbeaten record, leading this one 8-1. I'm Hans Frauenlab. I'm with Sander Olvag. Sander, Team Norway, they're in tough. As you mentioned off the top, they've faced the most difficult run into for a young team in any tournament, facing all of the favorites early in the tournament and learning some quite harsh lessons this afternoon.
Yeah, it's the 4th team in a row that's undefeated, meaning the 3 teams that have played so far are still undefeated in the standings, namely Switzerland, Japan, and Sweden, and now Canada. So pretty tough start, but it's not like it's going to be a lot easier later with Italy, the Dutch, Scotland, Germany. There's only good teams at the World Championship.
Exactly right. There are no more gimmies at this level.
That might have been different 20 years ago.
Yeah, when I was playing.
Up to date with all the other games. Netherlands, Switzerland. It's a 3-2 Swiss lead. Playing a hardcore.
I'm scared. Just top 8. Shot.
Top 4 foot, Canadians lie 2. Norway again trying to use the corner guard. Andres, 86% for the tournament.
Oh. 4. Linja er bra. Full svaghet. Linja er bra. Mikael. Mikael, du må gå mye.
Is this the advanced guard of a wave of a youth movement in Norwegian curling, Sander? Or is there a decent base of Norwegian curling, or is this really just the pointy end of a high-quality team?
I think there's a lot of young talent, and the challenge is always when they graduate out of high school and they start moving around to different cities. And, you know, a lot of young curlers will end up preferring to follow studies and try to get a career. Of course, at least in Norway, it's hard to make it as a curler. There's no professional curling players in Norway, so I can totally see that choice. You're really having to commit pretty hard if you want to curl for a living.
Free guard zone rule comes into effect on that shot. Colton Flash presses the corner guard and hits the bumper, so that comes back into play.
That's how we lose a lot of young talent to life itself.
Life does happen, there's no doubt. But it's been interesting to see, you know, this not quite generational, but if I think about Norwegian men's curling, of course you think about Paul Trussen, Olympic gold medalist. the late 90s and the early 2000s, and then along came Thomas Ulsrud. Recent years, Stefan Wallstedt, and now Magnus Ramsfjell. So seems like every 7 or 8 years another team surfaces on the horizon in Norway, and a team of really high quality. Jørgen Myhren.
Now the team Ulsrud has a foursome, has this, you know, they quit basically. I'm not sure if all of the players on that team will retire. So you might see some new combos next season for all I know.
Norway just nudging stones around, doing what they can to generate some offense. You know, the year after an Olympic Games is now traditionally the year where you see a lot of resetting in team lineups, and Team Kevin Cooey, an excellent example of that. Kevin had a disappointing Olympic experience in 2018. Wound up making a couple of changes in his lineup, bringing in Colton Flash and BJ Neufeld, and a year later, here they are, representing Canada at the World Championships and leading the pack. Flash clears the corner. Next Winter Olympic Games will be in China, in Beijing. Participating teams here in their member associations earn the right to participate in the pre-Olympic qualifying event. That's a new wrinkle to Olympic qualification for the next cycle. We've always had an Olympic qualifying event for the final 2 places, but now there is a pre-Olympic qualifier to get teams into the Olympic qualifier. Corner guard up. Canada looking to rip it. Neufeld, 89%.
Yep. Good, good. Clean.
In the off-season, Canadian curling fans, when Mark Kennedy decided to give it a rest for a year, you're thinking, oh gosh, the best players in the world, Mark Kennedy, Kevin Cooey, how are you going to replace him? You bring in BJ Neufeld. It's like a sweet purring machine. Slots right in. They are looking mighty dangerous.
Oh. Ikke tre. Ah, 2,5, 3. Ja, 3. Jørgen, ja. Jørgen. Jørgen, kom igjen. 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 Litt til, litt til, litt til. Sorry.
Melde fart der litt tidligere, så vi ikke går i starten.
Ja, sorry.
Seeing the body language of the young Norwegian team, Sander, they know they're in tough and they're doing what they can, but wouldn't be natural if they didn't feel a little bit dispirited.
Yeah, I mean, they figured there's a good chance they might lose against this team, but of course they wanted to put up a better fight.
Yep, yep. Whoa, 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 no.
Trap each.
Neufeld runs them back, removes 2 Norwegian shots. Another sporting cliche, they say losing builds character. Well, these are the ones you look back in a couple of years and say, well, when you come back to your next World Championships, things are going to be different. So you learn what you have to do differently to make that next step. Huge step just to be here.
That's good, you know. You get to see what where the level's at, and then you know what to do when you come back to practice.
Absolutely.
And I think that's why Norway's always had a good team. There's always been one team to look up to, always. You know, it was Paul Trulson to maybe look up to Hanagel Ramsfjell. And then Thomas Ulsrud looking up to the Trolsen team.
Bra spill.
And then the Wallstad to look up to Ulsrud, thinking, okay, that's who we need to beat.
That's the benchmark.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, to get rid of this, you got to come off her own, but then it's just a nose double.
Yeah, he might just bump freeze or something.
I still like this.
Yeah.
You get this going into here somewhere.
Yeah, you just got to be. That's.
Well, we can just do it this way too, Kev, if you want. Roll out.
Yeah, no, I like that nose.
Yeah, me
If
too.
it's our guard in front of his, I don't know how you get more than one, never. What are you throwing into the middle, the one going back or your shooter?
The one going back.
Yeah, I like that.
Try and hit dead nose then?
Dead nose.
Pretty much nose.
Yeah.
Ellers så slår vi den og ruller langt ut til høyre. Da slår han den treeren som da blir liggende på toppbøtten og ruller litt høyre, så får vi en vanskelig dobbel. 3.
Kevin Cooey looking to run back the corner guard onto the Norwegian stone in the top 12.
Yep. Hard. Hard. Yep.
Right there. Good shot, guy.
Good stone from Cooey.
Good boy. Good shot, Coo.
Nice toss, Kev.
Thanks.
There's shade suitor.
Is he trying?
Just trying to hit and roll a couple of those. Might be able to.
Stay in the middle of him, kind of thing.
Ser det greit ut? Jeg synes det er litt mye, ass.
Litt mindre.
Canada lying 2. Ramsell's going to make a play on his own stone. Bump it back into the Canadian rock.
Yep. 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 Hard. Yep. Hard. Hard. Whoa.
This one's over curling.
Whoa.
Hits the Canadian stone in the top 8 foot. Does stick around, so that's a bit of a positive for him, but not really what they were looking for.
Der bestemte seg for å curle ganske mye, da. Han fikk 15-25.
It's been the story of the afternoon for the Norwegians, Sander. There's
Ja, han tok farten.
over-curling a lot of attempted hits and draws.
Men satt den ut.
We can maybe make this for 2, though, I think. That's probably there. You try and just roll it a bit, even if you roll it right to here.
You think, Beach, for him to get this one moving, he's got to hit like...
I think it goes pretty easy.
I sure don't. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
He can't get 2, I don't think.
Well, I think the only way we give him a shot for 2 is if you nose it.
Yeah, you're right. Rip it out.
No, the only way you can get 2 is if he knows it. Or hang it in the house anywhere.
Even with this big lead,
I don't see anything for
Canada doing everything to prevent Norway from scoring 2.
Hard score right now.
Green.
Just peels out the Norwegian shot.
Vi får I hvert fall shot på det, hvis vi prøver å bare treffe tynt på utsiden. For jeg tror aldri vi får det.
Canadians don't think there's a shot for 2 here. Norway's still looking at it.
Det letteste for en, bare treffe utsiden av treeren. Ja. Kan prøve da. 11. Nei. Det gikk jo rett der, fant vi ut.
Looks like a shot for 1 to me, Sander. Don't think there's any shot for 2 here.
Well, we're going to give it a crack. Catch it a bit on the high side.
Av den gule. Sånn 2/3 så vi ganske safe.
Off the shot stone. Try and get that second red to move sideways and keep the shooter. Magnus saying if the gods can carry that second red at the side door, well, maybe.
Well, Scandinavians can always call on the Nordic gods to help you out.
Yep. Yep. Down.
Down.
What do they have here?
They tried. Single point. Gods couldn't quite carry the second one out of the house, but it's a single point for Norway. Closes it up a little bit. We reach the halfway point of the contest. Canada leads it 8-2.
Talk about hitting the top one. Talk about draw.
Bruce to give himself a shot of his last stone.
Whatever, thanks. Just play an out-turn draw to the top of the 8-foot on the left side of your screen. And you give himself an in-off.
And that's what he's trying to do by removing this top red and roll the shooter over. He's giving himself something to go into the middle.
Okay, back 4, back 8.
First end action. Canada with the hammer. Canadian skip Kevin Cooey.
No.
Playing a gentle tap to try and score a second point. Hit it on an angle, but still just hanging around in enough of the forefoot to count his second point. Third end after some fantastic setup shots by the Canadians. Lying 4 already.
Okay, wait,
He just needs full 8-foot to throw a 5 on the board.
Yep.
And there it is. A handful of red ones for the Canadians. Huge 5-point end. In the fifth end, Norwegian stone top of the forefoot. Norwegian skip Magnus Ramsfeld trying to angle it in, hoping he can somehow get a pair. Moves both of the stones, not enough to drive them out of the ring, spills himself. It's a single point for Norway. Updating all of the other action on session number 7 here. Switzerland leading the Netherlands 5-2 on sheet A. On sheet B, Italy with a 5-1 lead over China. Our feature match, Canada leading Norway 8-2. And Scotland and the United States over on sheet D. They are all tied at 3. The shooting percentages tell the entire story. Canadians absolutely dominant, 90% as a team, 94% on their hits. Norway in comparison really struggling on their hits. Look at that, only 55%. Canada with 1 stolen point, but look at the third end on the scoreboard. That 5-point end of the Canadians opening up a huge gap, and they lead it at the halfway point, 8-2.
Difficult to remove that red.
What do you think? 2 or 3 on this one? He hits it perfectly.
Look at the gap between the red and the yellow. There's hardly any gap there. Has to catch the red so thin to spin it off the top sideways. miss it, but just nick it on the way past. Really difficult shot.
Bruce Mallett. Opportunity after the misplaced stone by John Schuster.
We're at the Pioneer Hi-Bred World Men's Curling Championship 2019. Session number 7. Feature game Canada versus Norway. Canada coming into this game rolling along unbeaten, and that roll continues. They lead this one 8-2 at the halfway point. We are at the NMAX Center in Lethbridge, Alberta. Fantastic venue. Great for curling. You can smell the popcorn, the fans in the stands, enjoying life. Norwegian team probably not enjoying life very much, down 6 on the scoreboard. And they'll do what they can in the second half to hang in there, but Canadians making a substitution. Ted Appelman coming into the game. Ben Hebert will move up to second stone, and Colton Flash comes out. We saw Appelman come in the other night. Ben Hebert having a rest, so the Canadians taking the opportunity. And when you mentioned, Sander, it's a long week.
Perfect, eh?
Great chance to rest one of their players here.
Yep.
No, I think it's just this side's a little
Good chance
better.
to see Ben Hebert play some peels.
I would agree.
That's right.
Excited.
No ticks for Benny. He can throw some heat. There's Ted.
No chance in hell that's
I think if you're Norway's coach on halftime here, you just tell them to enjoy the occasion. You're playing Canada in Canada, lots of people watching. You're on TV. You know, just enjoy the moment. Try and play a couple of good ends. Don't never mind the scoreboard. Just play each end as its own mini game.
Yeah.
And try and learn from it. You're playing one of the best teams in the world.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Take everything you can away from this experience.
And it's the only game for Norway today as well. So, you know, why not? Play a bit of curling.
Exactly. You've come all this way to play at a world championship. Might as well play. Appelman.
Weight's good. A little heavy.
Easy.
Oh. Yep.
Hard.
Whoa.
Clean. Clean.
Great occasion for Ted. Kevin Cooey defeated Ted Appelman in the final of the Alberta Provincial Championship to reach the Canadian Championship, and so great chance here for Ted to experience a world championship.
Bunch of beauties up there. That's just pure. Attaboy.
Føltes litt ut.
Jørgen Myhren. Having a tough afternoon. We did see him have one rock pulled for a hogline violation.
Difficult to do that on the TV game.
That's right, where your friends can replay it for you over and over and over again.
It's like the Germans yesterday had the double wipeout on the ice. So of course that was a TV game as well.
Well, that's become an instant internet meme as well. You know, it's one of the great avoiding a stone in motion dives of all time by the German front end.
Here we go. Ben Hebert with the upweight.
Ben Hebert peeling machine. Well, only a single clear, Ben. Have to lift your game a bit. That was a nice shot. But you're right, Sander. After an entire season playing at the lead position, the chance to air a couple out, I'm sure lead players always welcome that chance. Wind up playing so many tick shots and downweight shots at lead. Incredibly important shots, but you don't really get to throw the big wheat peels very often. When you do, it's usually the peel of shame.
Yeah, peeling your own rock.
Yep.
And that's the thing, if you're lead, you might throw some peels in practice, but you play a championship, you might not throw a single one for the whole week, and then all of a sudden you might have to.
Right.
So, you know, it's not bad for Ben just to throw a couple peels here, just to know how to do it for the time you might need it. Doesn't seem to be a big problem.
No, Ben saying, it's routine. I can throw any position. Good for him.
He's played some mixed doubles as well, so.
Yeah, pretty handy brush to have on the ice in the mixed doubles game, Ben Hebert. Mixed doubles World Championships, one of the few remaining events on the World Curling Federation calendar. That'll be happening in Stavanger, Norway in late April. Michael Malmsetta.
Linja er bra, 1,5. Linja er bra, køler tidlig.
Airband still there.
Det lang ut. Litt tight, 1,5. Nå er det 2. Linja er bra. Nå er det 2. Linja er bra. 2 nå. Linja er bra, bare hold den i gang. Bra. Bra, Mikael. Herlig.
Norwegian lying shot and back button.
Can definitely draw in my last one if we want.
Canada just playing the percentages, running the front. Here's the magic number for BJ Neufeld. Keeps that number intact.
Kind of hard to play against.
Yeah.
Above his tournament numbers at 93%.
When your opponent's making everything, tough to win. Michael Malmsetta.
It's a pretty usual drill they do. In Optal, you play perfect team. So you play against the coach, basically, except the coach will just place the rock by hand.
Okay.
So
a coach-assisted perfect game.
So you're facing the perfect shot every time. You're never going to win, but
right.
It's just a way of practicing.
Clip this in.
Makes a lot of sense.
Straight peel is pretty good here, Beach.
Because you're going to run into some almost perfect games from opponents at the World Championships, that's for sure.
No.
Whoa.
Neufeld clears front. Looking for a little action on the stone in the front 8, but it goes across the top. Get the feeling that Canada, although they're obviously still making pretty much everything, are just kind of like they're punching the clock at the factory, just waiting for the shift-ending whistle to blow.
Well, I don't mind the draw on yours.
Yeah. What are they throwing?
I mean, you would look at Italy and China.
And if I peel, he's going to try and get a little under, and we got to give him one.
4, maybe 5.
Ramsfeld.
2, 2,5. 2.
Gary Cooey thinking about the next one. Might switch gears and draw.
Always the risk if you're winding up defending one when your opponent changes gears on you. And it looks like it's time for the stick shift to be engaged.
Ideally, you make the draw. Bump it an inch so you're short rock, right?
Okay. Ed.
Like here?
Yep.
Good practice for Kevin Cooey in this situation. Not too much risk.
Well, they're pretty close to the same. As long as once we're, at least so we're not rubbing off.
Okay.
You get any times here?
I think it's a positive draw. Same as you've been throwing.
Okay.
14 seconds probably. 13.8.
Hebert, even when he's not entirely sure, will always give a positive response to a question.
Line's good.
This T-line's good. Move it an inch. Wait
Line's
over.
good. Room. Lots of room. Back 4. Whoa, then. Back 4. Whoa. 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 Back 4. Back
Whoa.
Just skip. Gotta go. Hard. Back 4. Back 4. Hard. Hard!
Oh, great shot here from
Great
Cooey.
shot.
Sits front button. Well judged. Good weight communications from the sweepers as well.
You
They're
know,
sitting back four the whole way.
you notice how Ben Hebert will switch sides depending on which turn they're
shot,
playing.
Kev.
He's usually the guy sweeping against the grain, so to speak.
Yep. Inside guy.
Probably has to play that.
That's a relatively new wrinkle. That wasn't something that he did last season with Brent Lang and Mark Kennedy. But this season with Colton Flash, both of the players quite comfortable sweeping either side of the stone, so they are switching more often.
I think either Flash or Hebert pretty good on the inside, but
yeah,
even BJ is a good sweeper, but he's a lightweight compared to those guys. So
yeah,
you put the biggest guy on the inside.
Yeah, Ben Hebert will always back himself. Sweeping a rock, I will take it.
And if they have the stamina to do it, why not?
Absolutely right.
13. Yes. Ren. Ren. Ja. Wow. Ja. Yep. Wow. 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 Ren. Ren. Ja. Ren. Ren. Ren.
Oh, very nice shot by Ramsfeld.
Finally.
Finally, says Magnus. That's a great shot. Makes the double takeout. That'll put a smile on his face. Very well played. Good for you, Magnus. Perfect. Very nicely played. That leaves Kevin Cooey. Same shot. Has to draw the button for a single. He could actually play the same weight that he just threw Sander and maybe score two.
Like more.
Touch more.
Whoa.
No, it felt didn't feel like more to me, guys.
Whoa. 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 Whoa.
Still back four. Line's fine.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Still there. Still there. Still
Yep.
back 4.
Yep.
No.
Whoa. Whoa.
They're thinking two.
Hard Teddy. Hard Teddy. Hard Teddy. Hard Teddy.
And they've got it. Terrific little touch shot there from Kevin Cooey.
2 red.
Canada scores 2. Norwegian boys are looking at each other, wondering if they're going to continue. Nope, they're going to call it a day. Comprehensive victory for Kevin Cooey of Canada. Topping it off with a lovely little touch shot for a deuce. Canada remain unbeaten. A short afternoon for the Canadians. A very delighted Canadian fan club here in the stands in Lethbridge as their team win this one. Final score, Canada 10 and Norway 2.
Okay.
First end of our
Back
game,
4, back 8.
Canada versus Norway. Canada lying 1 in the front of the forefoot. Kevin Cooey attempting to tap his front stone in for a second point. Catches it thin, but it just stays enough in the forefoot to count a second point. In the third end, Canadian Thunder and Lightning lying 4 already. Terrific setup shot, so it's a relatively straightforward draw to the 8-foot for Kevin Cooey. Makes it without a problem, and look at that 5 red Canadian stones. Huge 5-point end for Canada, giving them control. The 5th end, final stone here for Magnus Ramphel. Ramphel trying to angle this one in, hoping to score 2. Moves both Canadian stones. It's a single point for the Norwegians.
No.
In the 6th end, after a nice double takeout by Ramsfell, leaves Norway lying 1 in the back of the forefoot, but unbeaten. Kevin Cooey with a lovely little heavy draw to push the Norwegian stone back to score 2. Norway concedes defeat. Canada remain unbeaten with a comprehensive 10-2 victory over Norway.
Thanks, Coop. Attaboy. Attaboy.
Game still in progress here in session 7 on a Monday afternoon in Lethbridge. Switzerland is leading the Netherlands 5-2. Italy with a 5-2 lead over China. We have a final in our game. Canada 10-2 winners over Norway. And a close one over on sheet D in an important game for both teams. Scotland leading the United States by a 4-3 score. With that victory, Canada now stands alone at the top of the standings at 5-0. Japan and Sweden behind them at 4-0. Switzerland also unbeaten at 3-0. USA, Netherlands, Italy, Scotland, Germany, Russia, China, Korea, and Norway round out the standings. So that'll do it for us here from the NMAX Center in Lethbridge, Alberta at the Pioneer Hi-Bred World Men's Curling Championships. For Sander Rolvag, I'm Hans Frauenlob. Thanks for joining us, and so long from Lethbridge.